Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to share IBM interview questions that I have encountered in my recent interview with IBM. So, this video would be helpful to both freshers and experienced as well. My name is Mahesh and I'm a associate Cognizant Technology Solutions Bengaluru, and recently I haven't got chance to get interviewed by IBM, and I'm sharing the same interview experience through this video. So this view slide contains the glimpse of this video, like what I'm going to share today. So basically I'm going to share the Java interview questions that I have encountered in this interview, Spring interview questions, REST interview questions, Agile interview questions, and the most interesting part is the manager round interview questions. And if you are an experienced guy, I would suggest you to please go through the manager rounds interview question section, because these were one of the interesting questions that I have ever encountered in any manager round. So, and a short note to everyone, in this video I'm going to share all the interview questions that I have encountered in my face-to-face discussions. So basically there was one round of online exam as well. Upon clearing that, I was called for face-to-face discussion. So let us start. So first question was like, what is immutable class? So any class once created and when it cannot be changed is known as an immutable class. So example are the wrapper classes, and the mostly used class string is an immutable class. So the next question was the continuation of this question itself. I was given a pen and paper and I was asked to create my own immutable class. So I was well prepared for this kind of questions, and have neatly the step by step procedure I have explained him, like how to create an immutable class. And believe me, the interviewer was very well convinced with my answer. Like he was very much what to say, I had a very positive impact on him with this, the way I have explained him and the way I have written the code. Because usually whenever we are asked to write a code, we simply write the core logic, but I have written class, comment section, and everything, like a production ready code I have written, and I have handed it over to him, and he was quite impressed with that. See, these are the very small things, but will create a huge positive impact on you whenever you are answering such a type of questions, like having proper method comments, class comments, and everything. Like basically we need to follow all the Java standards whenever we are trying to write a code in an interview, I would say. So the next question was the luckiest question I have ever encountered, because I know only two design patterns, to be frank, and the interviewer asked me the same, like explain the singleton and factory design pattern. I was well versed with this answer, and I have explained him in detail the entire patterns, like in which scenario what I will use, and in which scenario what I will use, the other thing I will use. So the next question was like, how to make a singleton class thread safe. Honestly, I was well prepared for this question as well. So as I was already having my paper and pen, in detail I have again created a class which is a thread safe, and explained him the process of making a singleton class a thread safe class, how to make it thread safe. And then the next section was of like most like entire garbage collection, like what are the daemon thread in Java, what is garbage collection, what is the priority of garbage collection. So I haven't explained him in detail the entire concept of garbage collection, why it is important in Java, what importance does it have in Java, and he was well impressed with that answer as well. So the next question was like, differences between the comparator and comparable. Believe me, if you are attending 10 interviews out of 10, you in 8 interviews at least you will find this question. So always be prepared with complete example and the latest version, like how we are using comparator with streams in Java 8. So I have explained him in detail, like in which scenarios I will go with comparator and in which scenario I will go with comparable. And there was a continuation question, like explain, write a code using streams and comparator. So I was well versed with that answer as well. So I have explained in detail with that answer also. So the next question was like hash code and equal methods. So what is the importance of hash code and equals method in Java when we are having a customized objects? So I have explained this as well in detail, like what is the important role does these two methods play when we are comparing the objects. So if you're not well versed with this answer, please you can go through the internal implementation of hashmap. There is one video on YouTube where the guy explains extremely well on this answer, like how hashmap works internally. So from there you can get the answer for this question as well. So the next question was like a very generic question, differences between hash map and hash table. So pretty much orally I have explained him this answer as well. Then there was a short program he asked me to write. Basically this program was to test my ability, how fast I can code give a solution to a specific problem. So the question was like this: I have a 1 to 100 elements in an array, unsorted array, and I need to find a one missed element. So basically there is a formula in mathematics. Applying that formula you can directly get this element. So I have applied the same formula here and got the answer. And believe me, he was expecting the same answer. He was expecting me to use the mathematics answer and get this answer. So it has not much thing to do with Java, honestly. So it was more related to the mathematical question, I would say. So the next question as is from hibernate, as I am having hands-on experience on hibernate. One question was asked to me on the hibernate as well, like what is the difference between get and load method in hibernate. So pretty much well I have explained this answer to him as well. So let's move on to the next question. So there was a question to write a Java program to reverse a string without using string inbuilt functions. So this was like, I would say, very easy question, because out of 10 of 10 interviews you'll find this kind of questions. And believe me, on the online exam which I have given for this IBM, even there I have seen this question. So be extremely well prepared with this kind of questions. Then there was a he asked me to write a sample code to read an Excel file, as two of my projects I have worked extensively on the Excel thing. So he was asking me to write a code, sample code, how I read, how I write to Excel. So by using Apache POI API we can uh, easily we can read and write. And believe me, when I started writing the code, he was very much impressed, because I was remembering all the exact syntaxes, all the exact parameters what I need to pass to that object, and so on like that. So I have done with that also well. So the next is section is from the Spring. So the first question was like, what is auto wiring in Spring? So I have to give him in detailed explanation, like what is auto wiring, what is. There was one more question, I think continuation to this question was like, what is the use of @qualifier as well. So be prepared for that also. So this question put me in the trouble situation, believe me, honestly, because I was not knowing the answer for this at that moment. The question was like this: we get the container object through bean factory and application context. What is the difference in both? Honestly, I was not knowing the answer. Recently I have gone through the Google in search of this answer, and now I know this. And to be honestly, I said the same thing to the interviewer as well, like I am not aware of this answer right now. So he said okay for that. So then there was a question on what is dependency injection. So I have explained him in detail, like what is dependency injection, what is IOC, and how these two are interrelated, like what benefits these are providing, and why it became why like these are the backbone of Spring, to be honest. So why Spring became so popular is like because of this dependency injection and IOC. The next question is like from Spring Boot, like what is the benefit that Spring Boot is providing over Spring. So you just type this question in Google, you will get n number of advantages that Spring Boot provides. So pick top 5, prepare very well with one example, and demonstrate the same answer in the interview. He will be very much impressed with that. If you are when you are providing real time examples, they will pretty sure 100% chances are there that they'll hire you. So the next question was the continuation of the previous code. previous question. So he asked me to write a sample springboot application, like what all dependencies we need to run a simple springboot application. So after this question there was one more continuous question on this. So I was asked to create a REST API, which will, whenever we hit that URL, I have to provide a response as a hello world. So I was well prepared for this question. As well as we have hands-on experience, it is pretty much easy for us to create a sample REST API which returns the response hello world. So I have done that as well. So the next question is from REST, like what are the different methods in REST. So there are 4 different methods: put, post, get, delete, and I have explained each and every method in detail uh, to him as well. So then the next question was like the differences between put and post. So both do the similar kind of operation, but there is a trick, a small change between the push and post. So if you're not aware of that, please go through the Google and understand it, why one is called idempotent, one is not called idempotent. So the next question section are from Agile. Like as I follow almost out of 4 projects, I have followed Scrum in 3 of my projects. So Agile in my 3 of my Agile methodology in my 3 of my projects. So he was asking me few questions on Agile methodology as well. So what is Scrum? So I have explained him in detail like what is Scrum. So the next question was like what is the difference between traditional waterfall model and Agile model. So I have to explain him in detail like what benefits we are getting when we are going with Agile methodology. So he was pretty much impressed with that as well. The next question is like what is there any drawback of the Agile model? Yes, there are few. Agile doesn't fit for every project, honestly. So there are few scenarios where it becomes difficult for a developer when we are following Agile methodology, when particularly when we are having dependencies on some other teams who are also weren't parallelly working with us. So in that type of situations we get stuck. So I have explained him in that only, like there are some problems, drawbacks with Agile as well. So then comes the interesting manager round questions. So I actually thought in many of my interviews never I had encountered any manager round questions, to be honestly. Most of the interview questions I already actually the manager used to ask me what is the expectation, like salary expectation, and I used to sell one number and give justification for that. But here the thing was different. So first question here was like why are you leaving your job. So believe me, honestly I was not prepared. So at that time itself, so I created one story, cooked up one story, and started saying like I'm getting married and I'm looking to settle down in life, and IBM provides me much stability at my career, and I get a chance to learn new technologies here and so on things. And I pampered him to hire me. So the next question from him was like, "What have you done to improve your knowledge in the last year?" So honestly, what all things I have done, I keep on actually usually I keep on reading some or the other stuff related to technical related stuff, like what all the latest versions coming up, what all latest technologies that are in the market. I keep on going through the YouTube videos or some of the websites. So I've done this, I have answered in the same way, same thing to him. So many things I don't have hands-on experience, but I know like how they work in and out. So how long would you expect to work for us if hired? Because when I was trying to switch, when I'm trying to switch, I have worked for 2 years with Cognizant now, and I'm trying to switch now. So he was asking, based on that he was asking me this question. So I said the simple thing like, as far as I feel, I have given the challenging work, and as far as I'm working on the latest technologies in the market, I won't leave. But my entire feeling was like, if you're giving me good package and good hike every year, I'll stay here. Believe me this, but don't say this. I was just kidding. So then this was one more interesting question. Tell me about a suggestion or innovation idea you have made. So as I follow agile mostly in my career, so there are sprint retrospective. There is one ceremony called sprint retrospection, where we usually suggest we usually give some ideas for the betterment of the project, for easy of development. So they, from there I have copied few, I have given few ideas, and I have copied few ideas, and I have answered this question. So he was pretty much impressed with this as well. So with this I conclude the interview. So thank you for watching, and please do subscribe for all the updates, or at least share this video to other technical forums, so that this may be helpful to somebody else. So I'll stop recording with that. Thank you for watching.